All right, people, what's going on? Make sure I'm all you can hear me and everything. Welcome to the show. We are about to get started. We got, let me, so there's a surprise. We actually have a trustee who has turned on Tiffany Henyard from Dolton. So for those of you who don't know, one of our trustees, I'm going to pull it up now. You just entered the building, but you're going to see one of her pro trustees have now turned on the Tiffany, and they're clapping for him. It's
Good evening,
Dan
everybody.
Brown.
How are you today? It's so wonderful to see everybody.
Trustee Dan Brown has just flipped. What's going on? Update. They're going to give a quick update. I'll let everybody know what's going on, Nate. You pick a story. Yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. I got to get through.
Thank you. Good evening, Board of Trustees and residents. Today is September 12th, 2024, and the time is 6:35.
This is the deputy clerk.
Trustee Norwood. Aye. Present. Trustee Stanley Brown. Trustee Stanley Brown. Present. Mayor Pro Tem House. Trustee Hall is absent. Trustee Belcher here, and we have a quorum.
All right, so they got quorum.
Thank you very much. This meeting today we'll go to pledge and prayer, then we'll go into some comments. All right, so first and last, the flag is. All right, the flag is in this direction.
Thank you, Noni. All right, so before we get into all of this, because we can fast forward through this. Okay, so what's going on? First, hello everybody. Just wanted to say hi to start it off. Nate, hello from the UK. What's going on? What's this? Hide your pets, hide your wife, right? Wasn't that the song back in the day? Hello everybody. All right, so update. What's going on? Tiffany Henyard. Last meeting, they're supposed to have a meeting last week, the first Monday. We covered that. They didn't have the meet. The trustees didn't show up because Tiffany Henyard didn't put anything he wanted to put on the agenda. So they said we're just not going to show up to that meeting. We'll call a special meeting. We want to talk about on the agenda. So that's this meeting. Now, during this meeting, you'll see one of the trustees that support Tiffany Henyard has come to this meeting, and obviously that's big news because now she's lost another ally in Dolton. So that trustee is Trustee Stan Brown. Now you'll see he'll walk across and they'll start clapping for him when he comes in. But he's now essentially flipped on Henyard, and now it showed up to this new meeting. So here's what happened when he came in. So that's him. So everybody goes to start clapping for him when they see him. There's another Henyard loyalist that now has. All right. So while they do the pledge and everything, with the other update. So the other update, Tiffany Henyard just had, and I'm going to play this video because I think it's fascinating. So Henyard just had this party, and this party literally cost something like $85,000, and like 70 people showed up. So it was like $1,200 per person. So she was called out on that. Let me play that because I like to keep you guys up to date. So that was at Thornton Township. So like all hell broke loose in Thornton Township. This. And hold on, Henyard. I've had the video keyed up, but it is not here. So this is for the party. Which is this? So you got this. All right, guys. Because this is a news report on it.
There were other.
So this is the news covering
the self-proclaimed super mayor is
what happened
apparently a super fan. She flew in nationally known R&B singer Kiki Wyatt to headline the Taste of Thornton Township last month. There were other performers plus daytime events for kids, but given the fury over Tiffany Henyard's spending, we were curious what the event cost. WGN Investigates obtained the bills through open records laws. They show Kiki
Check this
Wyatt
out.
was paid $30,000 for a 30-minute performance.
Mind you, this is taxpayer money. So Kiki Wyatt, she gave them 30 grand for 30 minutes. A 30-minute performance, she paid them 30 grand.
Rapper Jay Holiday made $20,000 for a half-hour set.
His 20
Other
grand.
costs
Jay
include
Holiday, 20 grand for
Bounce House's staff and equipment add $35,000, meaning this single day
We're getting a
event
public comment.
cost
We're gonna get it.
suburban taxpayers more than $85,000.
So that's like some of the stuff that's been going on. So now we are headed back to the board meeting so everybody can see what's going on with Tiffany Henyard. So now I'm going to play the board meeting. I'm play that 1.25 until we catch up. It's good because then we can fast forward through things that we don't like. And let's do it. So now we're at the board meeting. So this is today's board meeting, and they're about 5 minutes ahead of us. So we'll catch up.
Right here, we're giving 3 minutes. So as the 3 minutes concludes, we'll waive our timer at you, and then ask for time to conclude at that time. So anybody has comments for the public for the board, please step forward at this time.
So this is public comment. Here we go.
Hi, my name is Sherry Verhoeven-Nowakowski. The mayor once said old people don't know anything. Well, I know a lot about Dolton. See, I grew here, and I come back several times a week. I'm a Doltonite. A Doltonite is a person who lives here past or present, short or long-term for life. There are people who love their homes and town. The people here tonight are Doltonites. The mayor says if you moved out, you should not be able to speak or even run for office here. It's like saying George Dolton, founder, is not a Doltonite because he passed away. She cannot take away being a Doltonite from any of us. She cannot take away the love and memories Doltonites have for this little village. It's an invisible thread that connects us all together and cannot be broken. Dolton was my childhood town. Facts, my roots run very, very deep here. My 4 times great-grandfather came here in 1851. It's in the bicentennial book. I still have family here. 173 years of homeless in Dolton. George Dolton, John A. Verhoeven, and many other farmers contributed to start.
This is public comment. Public comment.
On Facebook. My memories of Dolton are very much of friends who lived down the block, parks that were down the street, schools and churches were within walking distance of our house. We actually knew and talked to our neighbors. We seldom needed to go outside Dolton for shopping and entertainment. Again, I grew up here, and now everyone's grew up here. Downtown Dolton is close to them. On Lincoln Avenue, the old dentist office and Thompson Clinic are still boarded up with weeds. There are remnants of the baseball buildings from the 80s. Why should people leave their town to shop? They should be able to support local business. Well, you can't, because she spends all the money all over town promoting her face. This is Dolton. She spends money on parties, trips, and gives away. She's a good plan man, a con woman. Doltonites are rolling around their graves tonight. They quote from President Roosevelt. I never forgot that I live in a house owned by all the American people, and that I had been given their trust. The mayor says the opposite. She told Mayor Lightfoot to get out of her house. Well, this ain't her house. And this is not her town. It's Dolton. It's not Sydneyville. You are an elected official, and one day you go back to the next election.
Let them be
For my
cake.
fellow Doltonites, something I heard. Nor we can
Cat's
forget.
missing.
So the only thing we can do is end it. Please know, fellow Doltonites, on Facebook, love and pray for all of you to get Dolton back. Well, in house.
Clean house 2025.
Good evening, residents. Former future trustee Evan Steve.
Remember, Steve was on with us last
I want
week.
to say this before this meeting starts. We have to kill the out mentality in leadership.
Your Tiff's no show.
I did this. That's what we hear every week. This meeting, you want to hear the we mentality. You want to hear the team. Watch how smooth this meeting goes. Watch how things get handled. How professional. No arguing. No back and forth. This is the we mentality of leadership that we need moving forward. Though. So watch this meeting go smooth, professional, and this is the calm meeting that we need. That doesn't represent though. This represents though. So I want to say that. Thank you. Clean house 2025.
Just so everybody understands, this is public comment. It's a special board meeting. If Henyard did not show up, but the other trustees that support Henyard did show up. So now this woman is running for mayor.
And the thing I have an issue with, that I've been fighting to get back for several months now, is my escrow from a home that I purchased. That's your home that I purchased in Dolton. And I would hope to think that this administration team, from the mayor on down, would be professional enough that when I reach out, or when I have an issue, or I leave my number, I expect you all to reach back. I expect answers. I don't expect to not hear anything. And I expect you all to truly be professional and not have a biased attitude, because I am one of them. I was still a resident. And I left my name and number concerning my escrow. This has been back in June. We're getting ready to approach October. I was told that the escrow money is still there, so I'm trying to figure out why hasn't my escrow been released. You call the village, you get no answer. You call the village, you get no answer. You go to the village, you get no answer. But yet, everybody wants to be put back in office, and yet no one is doing their job. So I expect you all from there on down to be professional. Return phone calls, answer situations, answer the problems. And this is the problem that we have here in the village. Everybody wants to see, everybody wants to hold on to their check, but nobody wants to do their job. And me as a resident, when I come up to this village, regardless of what position that I'm running for, I expect you guys to be professional and not have a biased attitude and return my phone calls, answer my questions, because at the end of the day, I'm still a resident here. Thank you.
All right. So you got problems with the village. That's why we here. We all got problems with the village. This is a Tiffany Henyard.
All right,
She doesn't like hit Tiffany at all.
I wrote something out because I don't want to wing it and miss something. So, just wanted to say that, since the Henyard administration started, I've been fighting against her and what she's doing to Dolton. Nobody sees the world or Tiffany like I do, because it's kind of weird, because when I first was diagnosed with my brain tumor, that's around the time she started like doing things that's not right. So I've been fighting this for years, for 3 years now, with Tiffany. I met an abundance of good people during this fight, the residents, people online. I've had so many inboxes that I just found yesterday that I didn't even know I had from people that's just concerned about Dolton and what Dolton going through. We all know that the trustees have been locked out. So we all know that they can't get what they need to do what they need to do. So for the person that's running the mayor, maybe you should check to actually see if they can have keys to get in the building before you just say that they're not answering you and your needs. Because there's other people that are in place that's not supposed to be even coming to work, that's still going to work every day. Again, if nobody else sees what the trustees have done, they created history. They have changed the way government is going to be ran forever. Y'all have to look at that. And y'all residents, everybody should be proud, because it took forever for us to get here. This wasn't easy. We've been fighting for a long time. Everybody know me. I know y'all know my face, so y'all know I've been fighting, because I won't give up. I'm not gonna stop until she's behind bars. Tiffany's big part was to deny our community. She wanted us to have racial disparities, saying that she was attacked by someone. So am I. Y'all see what happened at every meeting. She sent someone purposely next to me to agitate me, to get me to get out of my character. I never get out of my character at meetings like this, because nobody's planted as a disguise for me to try and get me kicked out of the meetings. I lost a lot of people. A lot of friends when I got sick. A lot of people don't know this, but when you sick and when you're about to lose your life, that's when you find out who really loves you, who's really there for you, and who's not there for you. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I lost all my friends, all of them, because they was no good for me. Just like the Tiffany was no good for us. That's why she's losing her administration right now. Y'all have to stand up. Y'all have to continue this fight. I just wanted to say, and I know I don't have that much time, but
Yeah, 3 minutes right there.
during Tiffany's Henyard's time of corruption, Vanita Lewis, with Andrew Holmes, we have two boards of Colonel Cape Man. We still haven't got any leads on his death. We have my friend, Felicia Bauer. She lost her son, Nick, and daughter to gun violence in June. Still no leads on his death. Then we have the love of Alexis Wilson. Everyone knows that I have been.
3:15.
Okay, thank you. So I'm not gonna be long, I promise. Everybody knows that with Alexis Wilson, she was shot and killed unjustly by the police in Dolton. July 27th was the day after my birthday, 2021. I never forget this day, because that was right around the time I started getting really sick. A lot of people don't know that, but that was around the time I saw
3
myself.
minutes and 30 seconds.
Going on the docket. Is that okay? Okay, I'm sorry. So, okay, I'm gonna end with this. I'm trying to get justice for Alexis Wilson. I know we can't get it right now. However, I just want to ask everyone to actually sign this petition that I have for change for Alexis Wilson. I'm gonna pass it around. All you have to do is take a picture of it with your phone and, just scan and sign the petition. It is to rename the ice cream from just ice cream to Alexis Wilson. We have over 800 signatures already.
4 minutes.
I'm sorry, I'm like practicing today. We have over 800 signatures. We just did a couple more. And one more thing, you have a Wildcat Classic, November 2nd. I need all my Wildcats without, or park, whatever y'all listen to come out and show up. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
They let her talk for like 5 minutes.
We used to hold off tonight, we used to need real administration, and we used to need, basically have some questions, that really we should have to ask these questions, but here we are. Today, I want to put on white bill, and our city hall is still locked. There's an area about 6x6 where you can go and you can have meetings and so forth. But there is no reason for us to have to be in this building to appreciate the hospitality of our district. We have leaned on them heavily in this long struggle as they accomplished almost 4 years now. We've been 4 years of business. It's not a new situation at all. So we got to find a way, especially after
The audio is so bad.
Was to be sure at this point that she has been ordered by the Attorney General's office to correct these, open these violations. A lot of people don't know, I talked to one of the senior members down there at the Attorney General's office just yesterday, well, actually, you know each other. And there is another case going around on August the 5th that is also open, and she ignored the edict to respond to that, which was due on the 19th of August. So they sent her a final warning. My objective is to get maximum. My objective is to get maximum effects out of these opinions. There is a
Let me know if the audio is better.
The heaviest part of it. I want to see some escalation from the Attorney General's office. They know this. They're probably sick of me right now, but I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop. And anyone else that wants to write to the Attorney General should do so, because even though it takes a long time, it does work and it will leave a paper trail. And at some point, she is going to have to answer to some of this stuff. Hopefully, it will take a long time. It does work and it will leave a paper trail.
I'll go back to that one then.
At some point, she is going to have to answer to some of this stuff. Hopefully, we can get our building back.
Because every clip is the same thing.
In our offices, it's both in Dolton Township and here in Dolton.
Now I got to check it out.
We get them out of there, even though they claim to be volunteers, because there's no telling what kind of stuff they're doing. And I'm hopeful that we are making some progress. And I saw a couple of things on the agenda today that looks like there may be something that can be done. Downtown looking like a ghost town. That's no reason for that. How many businesses have had to leave Dolton because this woman and her cartel have repeatedly tried to shake down business owners? And now we have to ghost town down here. And it's not, this should not be, we can't survive like this. No, we're not new here. We've been here, most of us have been here for decades. I just wish our only problem was not getting a phone call.
Let me try to see if I can do subtitles.
Because it's not-
Closed caption. That's not available.
Okay, I'm asking you to leave.
Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Glad to see everyone out today. I just want to commend the 4 trustees, the clerk, my assistant clerk sitting right there, the attorneys. I want to thank you for a very hard fight. Residents, I thank you
It's not available.
for showing up and
Got to
showing
pull them
out.
out.
We have been fighting this demon for the last 3 years, and I.
Yeah, unavailable for both
I
channels.
meant what I said, and I said what I meant. I've been in this community for over, I don't know how long I actually been, I think it's 23 years. And I've been active in this community ever since I moved here. Some people say they have never seen me, or either you wasn't at home, or you sent your kid to the door to say that you wasn't there. These trustees up here,
This valid
I
stuff.
commend them because they have truly fought this woman tooth and nail, along with this marvelous attorney sitting here. And you guys are phenomenal for coming out, standing up. And at the last board meeting, I said I wasn't going, but I couldn't help myself. So I had to go up there when she was appointing, Michael Smith illegally along with the attorney. Now, for you all have, went to school on politics, and I commend you for that, because once she don't have a quorum, and that's 3 trustees, then the meeting should have been adjourned, and it wasn't. She go on her rampage, talking about this, that, and nothing, and continue with the meeting. And Brown, you know that that's wrong, because I seen you leaving when I was entering the building at the last board meeting. And I'm gonna give you your kudos for leaving, because she know that that meeting was illegal. The ordinance state with the consent of the board on hiring and firing. So there is no way in the world she can hire Michael Smith. The ordinance also states that they have to have a background check. Correct me if I'm wrong, that any employees must have a background check. And if you look into Michael Smith's background, you know what you're gonna find. Okay? And there's no way in the world that he should be anything.
Just so everybody understands what she's talking about. Last meeting, Tiffany hired a whole bunch of people, but you're going to hire a whole bunch of people. You have to also have the board approve it. So the board didn't approve it. So those hirees are allegedly illegal right now.
In the village of Dolton.
One of the guys they hired had like a
And
serious criminal background history.
the attorney, the
She hired.
criminal attorneys, they sit up there, I'm appalled every time I see them. There's no way in the world that they should be sitting up there because they are not hired by the village of Dolton. And the lady attorney that she just hired, she shouldn't be there either, because that was an illegal meeting, like I stated before, and I'm
30
leaving.
minutes, 15 minutes.
And she, was illegally appointed because she could not have.
Yes, Ann Brown's in this meeting.
Thank you, Justin.
Well, now we're here. We're here.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank Stanley Brown particularly for being here tonight.
There we go. Ann Brown is here tonight.
I made a statement that I don't think people deserve kudos just because they were going to decide that's the right thing. But I'm going to say thank you anyway. The right thing is what should have been done in the beginning, and we might not be here. And since everybody else is throwing their hats in the ring, for those who haven't signed our petition, I'm trying to get her out of township, so I'm running for trustee. Actually, our trustees, they got
And he's got a lot of problems.
a full plate.
He's dropped some charges from
I've
Trump.
heard Jason's ear. I'm not gonna bring up my building tonight, even though I just brought it up, but there are things that they've got to do to make us whole. And what I say is, I didn't steal anything. I don't feel like I'm supposed to put that. We got to go after our money. We got to go after Kamal. We got to go after Keith Price. We got to go after everybody. Maybe even you are listening. I don't know. But everyone, please stand behind them. Stand behind them. We know what we got here in this village. Not knocking anybody, but Clean House 25 is what we
Yeah, I
have.
know, I know.
It's who's been here with us.
Yeah,
I don't care
one
how
now.
things went, because all of it wasn't their fault. So I'm
It was
not gonna
tough
blame them for what she did. But I applaud all of you, and Eric's going down.
No, we've been yeah, you know, all this time.
General announcements. Briefly want to give great thanks to Dolton Park District. I think it's been mentioned a few different times about the partnership we have, so I do want to give an announcement. I see present with us, we have Commissioner Willis Harris. Safety and best class. I'm trying to see what's any other commissioner before we get to the president? All right, we got our Park District President, Cleo Jones. doing tremendous work, making sure that we have this building, and the partnerships really have sustained not only.
Look,
the
I
board, but the
have-
community throughout these hard times.
So,
We want to give great thanks to them for
I've
all of the
heard,
support, the
again,
partnerships that we're
I've
able to
heard
out of this situation.
that something should be happening real soon. But it's from a source of a source. The source that I had is pretty good, but they're telling me something that they heard. So I'm not confident of it, but I hear something should be coming down the pipe soon.
With political information that should not be discussed in this forum. Having said that, I'll yield to any board members if they have any comments.
First of all, I want to thank our Dolton Fire Department, who has shown up and shown out continuously, working without contract for years, and they are still here taking care of the business. So again, let's give a round of applause for our Dolton Fire Department. And also, this Saturday, the 14th of September, we will have tea with the trustees. We'll have tea with the trustees. Please come one, come all, come out, get the vital information that you don't get at the
Audio is a
board
little
meeting,
bit better.
and also you're able to ask questions and get answers. So definitely, we want to see everyone. Please come out to tea with the trustees. We have awesome information that's given out on a monthly basis. So again, thank you all tonight for coming. Hope to see you all Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your performance. Thank you, Trustee Stanbrough.
Good evening, everyone. I'm here because you're concerned with my priority, and I definitely need to know what's happening all over the village. Now, I have residents that say come to this meeting, some say don't come to this meeting. I'm here for all the residents, so I appreciate you, Ms. Avon. As many times I've been knocking on your door, we had a lot of conversations. So, and Trustee Stubbs, we did some battles on the street together, taking care of some business. So we're not strangers to one another. But I just like to say, it's work to be done. Just as I said in the short little get together we had last week, that all the trustees and the mayor, we need to get ourselves together because we have work to do. Right now, we have our village hanging on the edge, and it's up to us to hold everything forward. So what happens from here on out, I'm not here jumping ship, or I never was on the ship, the jumping ship. Always been here. But I like to do what's right, and that's very important. And every resident in this village deserves that.
Now let's just be clear. That's Trustee Stan Brown. This is the guy who's voting with. If Henyard said jump, he says how high. Now all of a sudden, after the FBI's investigated, after the books have been found out, now all of a sudden he's jumping ship. So, you know, I don't know if Stan. I don't know what's going on, but I don't trust Stan Brown.
So I'm not going to shortchange no resident, whether we voted for each other or not. It's a job for me to do. And I'm still doing what I always have been doing for over 30-some years. And I see Coach Cleo back there. I see him grinning. I see go to work with me and him and put in and get this building together. I was actually, they let me be a part of this field.
Oh yeah. He's definitely jumping ship.
So, ladies and gentlemen, there's no heroic move that's being made. This is why we need this thing together, because what's on this agenda?
Diane, you got a cold there, Diane. Diane's like mole in the hole.
Us 6 trustees need to get together and do some hardcore talk. So I just appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm going to be at this meeting. I'm going to be at the meeting at the village. I'm going to be at this meeting. I'm going to be at the meeting at the village. Dog, nothing's going to change. So I got a job to do, so I intend on continuing to do it. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for hearing me out.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to say I am glad that everyone is out. I'm not even gonna say that.
We live.
Let's start with that.
Went out for a second.
Trustees are the legislative body and we control the purse.
And of course, if anybody has been on the journey with us for this 3.5 years, they can see that our purse has been snatched. And when people get up and say, there's something biased or there's a political agenda, every time we have a meeting, it's been taped. We would never take a warrant list. June, we didn't even know who was running. So, those kind of comments go into political things, and as a community, I've said on several platforms, we have come together as a community despite all of this chaos. And those that are in it for the real fight know what's going on. So if someone has an issue and it hasn't been addressed via the day-to-day operations of the village, as a trustee, I would say we can try to reach out to the person that handles that to see where their money is. But anybody can go on any meeting that we have had to see that we have not removed any escrow funds off of the warrant list. We remove foolishness. We remove unapproved spending, but we don't remove stuff that's in the benefit of the community. So I would like to say that just in reference to what a trustee actually does. Now, on a more positive note, I would like to say that during this time as a trustee, just keep us in prayer. Keep us in prayer because we need to pray for the whole community. We used to have prayed for Dolton, and I tried to orchestrate it, but we wasn't getting a lot of turnout. But I think that I'm going to try to do one in October just so we can have this prayer for the community, because this community needs healing. And it needs healing for a lot of different reasons. It has nothing to do with anybody's personal agenda. This is our community. We need to take it back, and we will continue to fight as we've been doing for the last 3.5 years. Thank you.
And I'm going to say this, some of you are going to get mad. I do think, though. Hold on, no, I'll say my thoughts right now.
Thursday. You know what they say, a family that prays together stays together. Okay, so let me first start out by saying that I'm so happy to see you all tonight. Though support is always needed. Together we stand, divided we fall.
Yeah, generally it's going to be boring.
Yes, we have been.
We're trying to wait for it to start. This is the beginning, you know?
When we first started the fight, people questioned why we had to do so. When I first was elected, I never thought that I would be kicked out of a building, have a mailbox put outside. These are not things that were on the to-do list, right? But we're here. For the last 2 years, we know that the community is important. The residents are who we do it for, and if we have to get locked out time and time again, we'll continue to do so for you all, and that's what's most important.
Right now she's not, but we don't know.
It's an old adage, and it says,
Dan Brown is
here.
You
fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We do have a few partnerships in place, and those are the things that keeps us going as a board. I would like to thank the Dolton Park District, our favorite park district, right? America's favorite park district, for just hanging in there with us. My son used to attend their summer camp every year until he got to the point where he just thought that he was old enough to be a counselor, right? But they were here. They were here. So it's important that, despite all, we understand that. Thanks again for the park district. Every summer, lately they've helped with the youth empowerment program where they provide the jobs for the youth. They partner with us to do so. So we keep them working. We have them working in their own backyard to teach the community. I'd also like to thank the Chicago Sky Gang. I'd like to thank all the residents.
They're thanking everybody. Thank
We just like to have fun and be together, and I just want you all to know that we are always better together. We're always strong, and at the same time, guys, thank you.
All right.
I will make a few comments myself. I made a few comments and I'll also update, so I am gonna yield a little bit to our attorney on some comments, but I received several calls about comments that were made at the last board meeting, the last unofficial or canceled board meeting. And people would like to, that they asked that we address it. I will say that the meeting was not official, it was not approved, so it holds no weight. Any perceived or attempted appointments are invalid.
So that's what he's talking about now, but
I won't say illegal because I'll sound like,
but that's what he's talking about now. The last board meeting when she hired the guy who was grooming 15-year-old girls and all those other the craziness, it's not legal because it wasn't an official meeting. So that's what he's talking about now.
some other people. But the appointments and the things that are being said about this, the criminal defense attorney was brought out here to defend the mayor's office. That's the statement. And you'll notice the statement is defend the mayor's office. They're not worried about defending the residents of Dolton. That's what we are here today. That's what we come every
I don't
week,
trust
every
Dan
meeting
Brown.
to do, is look for the residents of Dolton. So let's watch the words that they're saying. You see who Ms. Henyard and her team are fighting for. And we have to stay together as a community and as residents to make sure that Dolton stands strong and we stabilize this community. So moving forward, we're not really going to be recognizing a whole lot of comments being made, allegations that are unbased, unfounded, because it's not what we're talking about. We have real issues that need to be addressed, and that's what we're here to do and move this community forward. And we have a bright future. So the steps that we're taking now will stabilize this community, and as we move forward into the next administration, we will make sure that all thrives the way that we always have. Having said that, I do want to ask Attorney Brown just to talk a little bit about the legality or illegality of the meeting that was referenced.
So now it's the lawyer
Sure,
talking about
thank you,
the meeting was illegal.
Initially, it was pointed out in one of the public comments that the Illinois Attorney General issued a binding opinion, which they don't issue a lot of binding opinions. I brought a copy of it this evening for anyone who wants to read it. It's very interesting.
Yes, he's the one in the burger video.
Deputy Clerk, to provide extra copies.
Exactly.
But if you look at it, it was issued on September 3rd, which is last Tuesday. It was sent to reference to Mayor Henyard. It's based upon complaints that were brought to the attention by a number of residents. Point out that we have issued or sent in similar complaints on behalf of the trustees, but we have yet to receive any response from the Attorney General. So I too would echo the response that we just need more help and more responses from the Attorney General's office. But getting back to the binding opinion, as you all know, there's been issues with the meetings at the Village Hall. Getting into the Village Hall, the streets have been blocked off, there's barricades, there's metal detectors, there's a limited number of people that can come into the Village Hall. It's all made up. I guess it was the ruse is that there was threats made against the mayor. So it's interesting. This thing is actually pretty comical to me. Is that in response to the complaints lodged by the three residents for the meetings in question, the mayor and her administration responded by sending a letter that was not even sent to the mayor, but was received by the Rhode Island Police Department. It's a letter that the Attorney General deems to be not threatening in any way. More importantly, that the letter was mailed out after the meetings in question. So it has actually no impact or has no relevancy as far as.
All right, so you guys might have missed that because the audio happens to be bad. But what happens is, so remember the meetings where she was kicking everybody out, and she was like, "Hey, I'm getting threats, and because of all these threats, I'm kicking people out." Well, the residents complain, and so the Attorney General is like, "Yo, what happened? Let me see these threats." So Tiffany Henyard and her cronies sent them the letters, like, "Oh, here's the threat," and they were like, "Well, number one, this thing that you sent us isn't a threat, or Tiffany Henyard, or isn't a threat big enough when you do all this stuff. And second, this letter happened after the meeting. So you said you had all these precautions in place because of the threats, but the alleged threat you sent us, which is not even a threat, you sent after the meeting." So that's what he's talking about. So the Attorney General then came down and said, "Well, you can't do this anymore."
Any claimed threats or need for the barricade to go tall or a lot of people coming in, or limited number of people coming in. So that is just a bunch of complete nonsense. But what's interesting is that this letter came out, was sent to the mayor on September 3rd, and she knows from being a trustee and now a mayor for over 3 years that you have to have a quorum for an official public meeting. You have to post an agenda, it's got to be posted timely, as the items that it's going to be discussed. And there's certain rules, and the rules are very clear. They're laid out in the municipal code, also laid out in the village code. I wasn't at the meeting. but I've seen tapes of it. Clearly, there wasn't a board meeting. At least the majority of the corporate body, this corporate body, the mayor and 6 trustees, you need 4 elected officials for a board. It's my understanding that it was just the mayor and Trustee Brown, Trustee Holton, and Trustee Brown left after being apprised that there was going to be a board. So at that point, the meeting, there is no meeting. So whatever happened or didn't happen at that non-meeting, it has no legal effect. There's no appointments. There's no action to be taken. Anything that would be taken would be illegal and would have to be upheld. So I think that brings me to the end. It's any appointments as far as any village attorney that has to be done in a village board meeting where the board has the chance to give advice and consent. Same with the village administrator. It's down the agenda for tonight, but we'll go through it then as far as the village administrator position and Mr. Freeman is our position that he was never removed from that position or terminated from that position. He remained in that position and still remains in that position. But the board is going to take the affirmative step just to cover all bases and restore or vote to.
Just so he's talking about Keith Freeman now. Now Keith Freeman was hired by Tiffany Henyard, and when you're hired, you stay in a position until she fires you, and the board of directors or the board also fires you. So Tiffany Henyard has fired Keith Freeman, but the board has not fired him. So he's still acting in his job, and that's the attorney's talking about now.
Restore him to that position later on during this meeting in compliance with the state statute and the culture.
Thank you very much.
So Keith Freeman is still employed.
A few other items that came up. First, I think this is the first full or official meeting being convened, so I want to give a great welcome back to our deputy clerk, Harris Montgomery, who we miss so much. That's a very pivotal piece, in particular with the election season coming up. We want to make sure that there are no conflicts of interest as petitions and everything are being filed. Other items that have come up recently that the board has been working on. There was news reports on the comptroller's office freezing some funding coming to the village of Dolton. We've been able to take, working through the village administrator, finance department, the village of Dolton has made communications, had regular communication now with the comptroller's office. They've identified us know that as long as we have a plan in place, set by the 15th of September, which is coming up very quickly, that we can begin the process of getting our funding restored back to the village. We'll make sure that we keep the community updated on that. But the major piece of it was making sure that communication was had, and with the cooperation of administrative members and the assistance of the board of trustees, that process is underway, and we expect positive results as we move forward. Next, we have the budget process. We've had to kind of reconcile the FY24 budget, which we did not get a lot of cooperation. Ironically, after Mayor Lightfoot came on board, we started getting a lot of information that we haven't. So now we're in the process of doing a reconciliation of the previous fiscal year, our next fiscal year.
We're trying to put a budget in place.
On that. We expect to have that within a month's time frame. There are several steps that go along with that, because as we get the draft goes to the board, the draft is being presented first to the department heads, to get some feedback from that, next to the board of trustees. Once the board of trustees have comfort with it, we will present it then to the community for further comments and questions, and then ultimately make a vote.
So you're talking about the budget process.
We're going to be doing that in an expedited manner, but we want to make sure that everybody knows that we are proceeding forward. And this is a very pivotal budget because we know the state that our finances are in, so there are changes that have to be done.
Yeah, this is Jason House. He's running for mayor.
Rapidly, virtually yesterday, that will include some expense reductions, some things to make our village more.
It's so hard to hear. You know, I'll try to transfer to the other one. Their audio's bad.
We intend that if that must happen, we do the layoffs all at one time. We do not want employees to be fearing that any day. Audits, because our audits have not been completed since this administration has taken over. The auditor that we have on record, because many of the reports and many of the allegations, the subpoenas that have been given to the village of Dolton for fraud, those audits now, the auditor has refused.
Sorry.
To issue an opinion for the village of Dolton, and we're back and pushing us back, not to square one, but we're probably at about square four on a 10-step process.
So let me just pause it right there. So this is what he just said. The auditor, all right, so which is kind of crazy. So their accountant and their auditor doesn't want to give an official opinion about with the finances because there's an FBI investigation and, you know, all the money's a little funny. So they're having issues trying to get
we're
that.
Not deterred. We've reached.
I'm gonna go back so you can hear it.
Our annual audits, because our audits have not been completed since this administration has taken over. The auditor that we have on record, because many of the reports and many of the allegations, the subpoenas that have been given to the village of Dolton for fraud, those audits now, the auditor has refused to issue an opinion for the village of Dolton. And we're back and pushing us back, not to square one.
See, the auditor refuses to issue an opinion. You're like, yeah, I'm just not going to do it because obviously things aren't looking well. So
we're probably at about score 4 on a 10-step process. But we are not deterred. We've reached out. We put together our RFP. We've reached out to no less than 10 accounting
the auditor
firms,
refused.
firms who share the same concerns as Longback and Hayden, who is our current auditor. I would say as recently as today, we have 2 firms that are interested in picking up the mantle and taking things forward for our fiscal year 2022 and fiscal year 2023 to get us back on track. This is a key component of what the comptroller is requiring of us to make sure that we get our funding back flowing.
Now, mind you, so everybody understands what's going on. They have hundreds of thousands of dollars being held by the state. And the state themselves is saying, hey, we're not going to give that money until you get your books audited. Because now that money comes from when the police stop people and write them a ticket and it goes through the state collects the funds and they give it back to the city of Dolton, to the village of Dolton. So they haven't gotten any of those funds. Obviously, they need that money. So they're trying to get the auditor, but the auditor is like, I can't certify this crap. So that's kind of the position they're in now. And that's what he's trying to talk to.
Key component of making sure that we're doing responsible government for the residents of Dolton, and we expect that process to be underway as well within a month's time frame. Lastly, there's been reporting about our bank account. There have been some challenge. There have been a real issue with the bank accounts that we've had. So after the last board meeting, the board voted for an approval of all of the checks that were deemed appropriate: workers' comp, health insurance, general liability insurance, of course, payrolls, utilities. So anything that was necessary for this village to maintain, the board made the proper vote. Those bills were then presented or requested for the mayor, because the proper sign that has 2 signatures. It should be the mayor as well as the village clerk. Those were presented or asked of the mayor to come and do her signatures when we could proceed and issue those checks. She declined to do that. Fortunately, we have an ordinance in place that is the mayor pro tem that says when our mayor refuses to do her job. That's right, that's right. The mayor pro tem gives the power to do that. I think the board have the foresight for situations like this, and we've seen this coming. With that, myself, Clerk Key, went ahead, signed the check so that we release and make sure vital services continue. Because the mayor's office was disappointed in that, they contacted our bank claiming false signatures on the bank account. The bank essentially said, we're not playing these games, I'm tired of it. Gave us a 60-day notice that we need to, that our account will be closed within that time frame. We need to find another banking partnership.
Yo, all right. So I don't know if you guys heard that. I do believe I smell smoke. That's them chirping. I'm telling you, it's not chirping in the air. But so you guys, it's gotten so crazy. The bank is like, yo, take your money and get the hell out of here. We don't want your money anymore. So they wrote the checks. He signed them. So Henyard and her crew started calling the bank. Was like, yo, the checks is frauds. The checks is frauds. So the bank is like, no, we're not dealing with all this. The checks are good, but you know what? Because you guys are so insane, to get your money out of here within 60 days. So that's what we told you. Now they're looking for another bank to have to deal with, which shouldn't be hard.
That's a black eye and a big hit to the community again, because we're playing games around with utilities and bills. There have been no claims or allegations. And I will note that there's not, for all of the allegations against this board, allegations not.
Yo, how bad is it when a bank don't want to take your money? Right. You're like, I don't want your money. I don't want your money. I don't want your money.
All the allegations against this board, there have been no lawsuits filed, no binding opinions against this board, and we'll continue to move forward with the advice of our attorney that helps to maintain and make sure we're doing things properly. With that being said, we have 60 days. We're on 60-day notice.
60 days.
I'll never get another one of those, but we have in our time taken the time to vet out a few things. We have to have we've had conversations with 2 banks, and we also expect that we'll have a new banking relationship coming up within the next 30 days so that we can transfer things over. That has caused a delay to some that are old checks and some bills that are outstanding. Vendors have been notified, and we'll continue to notify people. So we thank those that stand with us. We know that there's $6 million outstanding in checks that we may not at this time have the funding to pay. I will promise any debt that the village of Dolton owns will be paid, and we will increase through this budget process and moving forward our communication with vendors to make sure everybody is made whole for their diligence in this process. So I think those are all the updates. Attorney President, this. Okay, so those are all the updates and general announcements. Next, I'll yield the floor to clerk, deputy clerk.
Carlisle was all pro Henyard, and now she sees the ship
Thank
flaky.
you.
So I got no love for
Yes, the
Carlisle.
board and to the resident. I am asking the Board of Trustees for approval of minutes for August 5th, 2024 special board meeting, August 5th, 2024 regular board meeting, August 8th, 2024 special board meeting.
I motion to approve the minutes as read.
Second.
Hearing the motion in second, any discussion? Trustee Tam?
I'm in support of the regular board meeting, but special board meeting, I'm not present today, so I can go on those.
Okay, so, you know, from individuals, so that way you can listen. Okay. So, most first, let me retract the motion.
No, trustee Brown, because I just abstained from those two special meeting, minutes. I think it'll cover.
Yeah, I was saying those meetings, but those kids.
But you could approve the minutes from those meetings even if you weren't there. I think wants to abstain.
Okay, so we'll go through individually. Motion to approve August 5th, 2024 special board meeting. I'll ask for a second.
Second.
Take your motion second, any discussion? Deputy clerk, please roll call.
Aye.
So they're approving the minutes for the other board meetings.
Trustee Sam Brown? Aye. Trustee House?
Aye.
Trustee Robinson Johnson? Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Next, I'll make a motion that we approve August 5th, 2024 regular board meeting. That's my motion, ask for a second.
Second.
Hearing the motion second, any discussion?
I don't know if she's so smart if we all know she's a criminal.
Please roll call.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Sam Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Next, I will motion that we approve August 8th, 2024 special board meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Hearing the motion second, any discussion?
They tried to do them all together, but
Deputy clerk, please call the
Brown
roll.
wants to make them do it all separate.
Trustee Sam Brown?
He couldn't have just abstained from them
Trustee
all.
Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, any additional reports for you, Deputy clerk?
No, that's all, thank you.
Okay, next we have up is warrant corporate bills. I'm looking through my phone so I can pull up the warrant list, be ready as a record.
So they've paid out a whole bunch of bills, but they had a huge
Brown,
deficit.
you done for reading that? All right, we're going to read the July 31st, 2024 electronic AP warrant list, having corporate payments of $260,633.45, water fund payments, $317,005.97, sewer fund payments, $1,700.16, total payments on this register, $579,339.58. Is there a motion to approve the bills as read?
Motion.
And the second?
Second.
All right, hearing the motion in the second, any discussion? No discussion, Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, next is the AP warrants, which we're reading from the August 2024 warrant list with corporate payments, $989,951.88. Gross payroll for August 7th, $483,187.12. Gross payroll August 9th, $427,542.97. Gross payroll August 23rd, $455,088.78. And Noe Fitness Center register, $1,244.32. Motion that these bills be approved with the exclusion of K&M ventures and all other bills to be paid. I'll ask for a second.
May I,
That's what this line was.
I don't know, man,
Okay, I'll retract my motion. Trustee Belcher, please advise the judge.
I would like to make a motion of the AP warrant list, but, you said K&M Ventures, and then there was one other, that I requested to be removed because he was waiting for some information from R.E. Welch and Associates.
Okay. Proceed, so the motion will be approval of the bills with the exclusion of K&M Ventures and R.E. Welch and Associates?
That's correct.
Okay. You made a motion, or you made a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Hearing a motion and a second, any discussion?
Yes, I would like some discussion.
Okay, Trustee Belcher.
Good evening again, and, just because we all sit up here, I don't want us to think that I'm a representative, and I'll just say me, because there are some issues or concerns that I have about things that's on the warrant list. But I know that bills have to be paid. But I want to also let the community know of things that's going on and why I'm requesting stuff to be taken on. K&M Ventures, last month, we paid $35,000 for an invoice because we had a storm. The storm came and we needed them to come out. We were very grateful for them. But going through the invoice, myself and Trustee Norwood went to some of those houses, and many of the residents know there's still tree trunks down, there's still branches on there, and on the invoices, they said that they would be removed. So if that was part of us paying $35,000 that they removed it, why would we pay you some more money when you haven't completed what we've already approved?
So now, obviously, the tree cutting thing, the tree trimming thing, that was something that was up with Henyard too. So now they're saying, hey, we paid them $35,000 and the trees haven't been cut. So.
From Kiana Belcher, Trustee Kiana Belcher. So that was my concern of K&M Ventures. My other one was the R.E. Walsh company, which is a law firm, but that was the law firm that stated that they did the investigation for the Las Vegas. The bill was $8,403.75. And so today, I don't know if anybody else on board, we have not received a report of what was done. We didn't find out until the news, but now it's a year later, and you want us to pay you $8,400.
Yeah, so some law firm said they did an investigation. I think Henyard hired that law firm, and now the law firm wants $8,000.
So those are issues that I have. My last one, and this may hurt, although it's not taken off because I know that we have to go day to day, but I feel that City Trustee Jason House requested a draft copy of a budget over about a month and a half ago. We pay our accounting firm between $40,000 and $60,000 a month. Whatever we request, we should be getting it. We should have to have outside entities come in, subpoena this and do that, when all of that information is in the hands of our accountant.
That's true. Why do they need to subpoena their accountant to get the stuff? And they're paying that accountant $40,000 a month. She's right. That don't make no sense.
So of course, I know that they have to be paid because right now they're running most of our operation with finance. But I feel it's unfair to not the board and the community that we request of, and they slow drag their feet, but they don't slow drag their feet when they send us these invoices that they want to get paid.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna move to approve the items because I know that I don't want to hinder the community, but I want it on record that this is our money and they should be providing information to us that we need so we can move this village forward. Thank you.
I'm gonna also kind of piggyback when it comes to some of the points that Trustee Belcher made in terms of rubber stamp, because a lot of times the board, most board will vote in unison. And it's important that we understand that the reason that the meetings that we go to in the village hall are so chaotic is that there is no exception, or there's no tolerance for two-sided conversation. So on this board, we always know that if there's a disagreement, if we have to pull something back, we know that we're going to communicate with one another and get the right answer. There is no pushback on removing something to make sure we got the right effort, because it is all about the communities and the community, as Trustee Belcher mentioned. So as we go through there are many items that we may disagree with, and you'll see if we pull something back because we know we need to vet a little bit further. We're going to do the right thing. We've had a lot of good discussions. I'll say recently, Trustee Stanbrough, he does not. There is some information that had not always been shared with him, so sometimes that splitting will be the information that he may not be aware of. And I'm grateful for the commitment and dedication that everybody up here has to continue that conversation, continue moving forward. It really is about trying to find a way that we can collectively work so that we can change the narrative and recognize that people can work together, and we're doing that for this community. So thank you for that comment. Any other discussion on this?
So 1.25, that's why.
I want the residents to know that, I mean, for the last few years, there's no secret in regards to us removing things from the warrant list. I just want you all to know that we've been fighting for transparency. This prioritizing of the spending is the most important. As Trustee Belcher said, because we're putting the people first, you're working with our financial department to get the answers that we need. But overall, we shouldn't have to fight so hard. Our village is suffering. Anytime we get to the point where we have to do layoffs, things are going to a point where
The way you manage accountants and lawyers and everyone else is, if they got information that you want and you haven't given them their money yet, then you make it a trade. You get your check when I get my receipts. You get your check when I get my stuff, right? I want my stuff. Here's your check, but I want my stuff. So I think they got to go to that accountant and make sure it's clear, right? That's my stuff. It's not even you holding it for me, but that's still my stuff.
we have to make some decisions. So I just want you all to know that I've received you all's calls. I know that you all need lights. I told them to stop taking these first class lights because we need these lights. And I want you all to know that we're going to continue to hold them accountable. And even though they continue to spend the money, we will continue to remove these things just so you all know that we're making the best decisions for you all. Thank you.
Okay, any other comments? Hearing none, that the clerk please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you very much. We'll go right next into new business. We're gonna go, I think there was a little, there was a separate version of the agenda that was sent later on. We can't go off of that one because it was not the one posted with 48-hour notice. So with that, we're gonna make sure we follow one by one so that we can make sure we're all on the same page with which motions we're going. Item A is a motion to approve ordinance number 24-010, establishing and adopting a policy governing reimbursement of elected officials and employee travel, meaning lodge and expenses and necessary employee expenses. Is there a motion to approve?
So this is the motion to stop Henyard from spending money on trips.
Hearing a motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown?
So Stan Brown has just
Mayor
voted
Pro Tem House?
Aye.
to curtail Henyard spending.
Next, item B, motion to
Trip.
approve an ordinance 24-012, amending the village code on check signing requirements. Is there a motion to? Actually, I want a motion to approve this one. I want an amendment to it. This one also included this ordinance is making the authorized signers of checks as written in the ordinance. It's the mayor, clerk, mayor pro tem, and finance director. I want to amend the ordinance to remove finance director so that way employees do not have to fear retaliation. So a motion is to approve 24-012 with the amendment as stated. I'll ask for a second.
Second.
Here, a motion and second. Is there any discussion?
Mayor.
It's mayor, clerk, and pro tem. All checks will require 2 signatures to be issued. Okay. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, then clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, item C is a motion to approve an ordinance 24-009.
So that last ordinance was to add Jason House to the bank account so he can sign checks. So they adding him to the ordinance. So to be, before it was just the clerk and the mayor. Now it's the clerk, the mayor, and the mayor pro tem, which is like the leader of the little city council they got.
Imposing a temporary moratorium on reimbursement of elected officials and employee travels and meals. Is there a motion to approve this ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 24-.
This ordinance that they're trying to approve now is they're stopping all reimbursements to any employees for any travel, spending, and all that stuff. So that's what they're doing now.
009.
Is there a second?
Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, any discussion?
Yes.
Trustee Belcher?
I know we're going through these ordinances, but most of the time, you guys see what has happened with all of these trips, all of these hotel stays. And sometimes, you know, we go to the IML every year, but we have information that we can share and see with the trustees or information that get us to move forward. Taking these trips to all of these conferences and bringing back absolutely nothing means that you're just taking trips on the taxpayers' dime. So what this will hopefully do, this moratorium will stop that. Just not to say that we don't want to get information or go to conferences, but we have to be more diligent of how we're spending the money right now and to stop it until we can get our house in order. So I just wanted to say that.
Thank you very much. Any other further comments?
Yeah, I just want to make one. Even with that being said, in our budget, there is funding allowed
for us to go to IML and to take the training. The mayor stopped them. You are to pay for your own training, your own hotel, your own lodging, your own meals, everything. And we've been going since 21, 22. Recently just got reimbursed. Money is there for that. So if we can spend the 10,000 that was set aside for it, where did it go? Where did it go? So if it's not gonna be used for what it's set aside for, then make sure if you're gonna utilize it, make sure that something is gonna benefit the village. So again, money is set aside for it, a lot of things are not being used when it was actually appropriated. So definitely, approve this ordinance. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Tammy. Any additional comments? Hearing none, Deputy Clerk. Oh, yeah, Attorney Brown.
Yeah, I think it should be mentioned also to go back to the prior ordinance, 24-010. That is the ordinance establishing a travel policy, which the village never had before, but I don't think it's ever been an issue with somebody or people traveling across the country in different states and cities, upgrading their airfare, spending all kinds of money, restaurants and entertainment. So that is the purpose for it, having that on the books. And this ordinance takes it a step further, that there's more to freeze any travel, entertainment expenses that have been ongoing here in the village like crazy in the last 3 years. With the exception of the IML, for the people in the audience, the IML is the Illinois Municipal League. It's a conference that's held every year. It's widely attended by mayors and trustees and village administrators and municipal staff.
We know why they're
It's held
doing this. I don't know why the
every
lawyer
city.
talking so much.
It's held every September. People statewide go to it. It's very informative. Just about every village sends their elected officials there for additional training, not just year one, but to continue their education. So I think that just one would point it out.
Thank you very much, Attorney Brown. Any further comment at this time? Hearing none, Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay, item D is a motion to approve ordinance number 24-011, establishing a policy on village cell phones and iPads. Is there a motion?
A motion. No second.
Okay, hear a motion and second, any discussion at this time?
Can we, say cell phones and like tablets, because it's more than just iPads.
Okay. We want to-
So maybe electronic devices, maybe that. Can we say electronic
Well, I'm here. I'm
devices?
here. I'm just listening.
We'll amend, we want to approve it with the amendment of adding electronic devices to the ordinance. Do I need to repeat another second or that?
No, that's fine. We'll add that.
And in discussion, the reason I say electronic devices, because since we have now been able to actually communicate and work with departments, not only have we found an abundance of tablets just sitting around like stacks of them, not being used, but we're being put in the bill. But we've also found the little seats where I guess they have like portable Wi-Fi that you can put in everybody's car, like luxury stuff that you can put in your purse.
And we were trying to get better audio.
But it's policy, so that's why I would want to say electronic devices versus just iPad. Is that okay?
Absolutely. And further, the policy now, as it has been presented to the board, also includes the inventory of these items and to make sure that they're assigned out properly to each one of the employees and assigned out, and that those devices are returned upon the separation of that employee from the village. So those policies, as Attorney McGrath mentioned, previously had not been in place.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure that we have documented policies on.
If you guys have watched our stuff before, it's always hard to hear them.
And I don't think the issue was clear to the board, given that the board was not getting the information that requested. A lot of this came through board license investigation, as well as cooperation with staff now within the last six weeks or so. It really came from that.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Trustee Norwood?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher? Motion passed.
Next on here is item E. I'm gonna give kind of to the board's discretion on this one. I think item E, we may want to.
Or transfer this, maybe this might be a little better audio.
I'm gonna give kind of to the board's discretion on this one. I think item E, we may want to hold off, which is the motion to approve ordinance declaring the village wide hiring freeze. Then you may want to couple this with the budget to make sure that we have the proper people in the budget. But if the board would like to proceed, then we will do so. Any thoughts, board members? E. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One by one.
Yeah, I think this audio is better.
So there was the original one that was posted on the door 2 days ago. I think there was some confusion. An agenda was, a revised agenda was sent over this afternoon, so we have to go off of the one that was posted. 48 hours ago. It was, yes. Okay. Yeah, so we're going off of the original agenda which was posted. 48 hours notice. So, the board okay with holding this one back until we approve the budget, or would you like to see it at this time? So E will be removing from this agenda to be revisited at a later time. Items, the next items, F, G, H, and I are all litigation that need to be discussed in executive session. So I'll be pushing those down until we go into executive session for discussion. Item J, being a motion to restore Keith Freeman as village administrator pursuant to 65 ILCS 5/3.1-35-10 and village code 1-8-1B. I'll make a motion to restore Keith Freeman as village administrator.
Second.
Hearing a motion and second, I'm gonna ask Attorney McGrath, because we had a
So this is
a
to
little bit of fuss, he's been working the entire time.
restore
So I'm
Keith
asking
Freeman
clarity on the
to his position. So they asked me, why do we need to do this?
Have this motion pushed forward.
Remember, Keith Freeman's been indicted for fraud, but
The law is real clear as far as appointments and removal of appointed positions by the mayor. It needs to be done with the advice and consent. The mayor can remove an appointed position or official. That has to be done in writing. There's time constraints. It has to be done no less than 5 days, no more than 10 days. After the removal, it has to be done in a meeting. And if the mayor fails to follow those proper steps, there's not a proper removal. If the mayor follows those easy steps, then the corporate authorities, being the village board, can move to restore.
No, I haven't seen it. And I'm gonna look for it.
Official by a 2/3 vote. So it's our legal opinion that the mayor failed to follow the municipal code, which can be found in 65 ILCS 5/3.1-35-10. The village code mirrors the same language.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Removal at any village board meeting. There was a letter sent out, not by her, but by a criminal defense attorney who has not been appointed.
Yes. This is so Keith Freeman doesn't sue them because he's a whistleblower.
So certainly, a criminal defense attorney cannot remove a village administrator. There's a number of grounds why this has no merit. As you stated, trustee, Keith Freeman has been working as the village administrator throughout. I have had multiple calls with him, meetings with him. He's assisted in getting us documents and information. He has not left the job. Again, going back to last Tuesday's scheduled meeting, which was not a meeting because there was no quorum, there was no appointment of any type of replacement. So I asked for this to be on the agenda just to cover your bases, just in case there was ever any type of a challenge in court, which if it is challenged, it would certainly be struck down. But I'm asking the board to restore Keith Freeman as village administrator, even though he's never left the post. As long as there is a 2/3 vote, we have everything covered.
Thank you very much.
This is a vote to
Any,
restore Keith Freeman.
additional questions at this time? Hearing none, let the clerk please call the roll. Trustee Stan?
It's kind of confusing right now because right now, Keith Freeman, he's working from home and, in the village administrator working from home. I don't see that job can be actually carried out. So I'm not comfortable. Yeah, we'll take it to executive session. We can talk about
Okay, we can discuss further. Would the board like to hold on voting on this one until after executive session? Is that a request? Okay. So we will.
So Stan Brown says he wants to talk about Keith Freeman in executive session. He doesn't feel comfortable voting on Keith Freeman.
Comment, and then we'll make a motion on this.
When we talk, and since we're on the subject, I know that it was stated that the board being about Keith Freeman to the village, and they couldn't be further from the truth. Not only that, the first time we didn't even approve them because they didn't do it properly. And now that Keith Freeman is finally doing the right thing, and he's protected by the Whistleblowers Act, they want to remove him. And to your point, Stan, I know, Trustee Brown, I understand that the concern is on working from home, but in all honesty, I've gotten more work done for the residents within the last month or two since he's come to the other side than ever before. And when we talk about putting the residents first, these are the things that I'm considering.
Now, just so everybody understands what's happening here, because I know the audio's bad. Stan Brown, so they were like, we're gonna just override the mayor's firing of Keith Freeman anyway because he's a whistleblower. Stan Brown says, hold on, I'm not comfortable with that because he's working from home. So now she's saying that, hey, since he's been working from home, he's been doing everything we want him to do, and on top of that, he's been more efficient. So that's what she's getting out there right now. So this whole thing is about whether they're going to essentially reaffirm that Keith Freeman is still working there.
I'm thinking about, because we all know that for years, the residents have called us with complaints and our hands have been tied. So for out of 3.5 years, I've only been able to experience helping the residents fully with Keith Freeman's help, the village administrator's help. So I just wanted to be clear that I feel that he's an important part to the residents, to assist us with getting some of the resident services. I know that there are a lot of concerns. Residents call me constantly regarding not being able to get permits, right? We've heard someone say they're not getting some checks. We know that this administration is failing us. And right now, until we get through this completely, I just feel as if working with him is the best thing in terms of getting things done, because ultimately the services of residents are important. And as a trustee, I like being able to contact.
The city attorney says they should do it.
They have a question about the water main.
Just to cover their behinds.
I like the fact that he can contact me even from home. He can make the necessary calls, contact me back, and then I can update the residents. So when we talk about putting the residents first, to me, I'm excited. I'm excited about the work that we've been able to accomplish since we've made changes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further discussion on this matter? Okay, Trustee Stan.
Of course, everyone knows that Keith and I did have a good working relationship. And since things have changed, as Trustee Norwood has said, we are able to get things done. Things were in place to prevent him from coming to work back in the building. So those things now have been worked on, we come to some type of agreement, and he will be returning to the building shortly, once we get things in place. We weren't even locked out the building. So let alone not just Keith Freeman, we couldn't even go in the building. You know, so things were put in place to keep us from going in the building.
So they said Keith Freeman was blocked out of the building too.
I just posted the agenda and I probably had 5 snapshots of me putting the agenda on the door. So we are working hard to restore things back the way they used to be. It takes time, but those things are in place. And I say give it a couple of months, and absolutely, Keith Freeman will be back in the building, and so will the residents. So just give us time and patience, work with us, and all those things will be restored. Thank you.
So I think the board has agreed that we will, how else in the, board culture, I think. Okay, so we will rescind the vote at this time, and we will motion this back up after executive session. Item A, there's a pleasure for everybody, we're gonna move that down just a little bit, I think we'll speak into this agenda very quickly. Item L, ratification and termination of former Deputy Chief Louis Lacy.
This is all right. So this
item is put on the agenda because, we made the official termination.
So this is the official termination of Lacy. Now Lacy was Henyard's police chief, and remember he then got indicted by the feds for the fraud and the perjury. Then she rehired him, but then the Illinois Police Licensing Bureau just moved his license. Now, so then she tried to appoint him back as a civilian. And now they're saying, well, we're going to fire him officially. So he was fired because he obviously can't be a police officer if he can't be licensed. So that's what they're trying to do now.
Was August 6th. However, it was not done in the public forum, so we need to make sure that we have done this in the proper format. So, is there a motion to ratify the termination for Deputy Chief Lacy?
Motion. Second.
I want to see how Stan Brown votes on that.
Discussion.
Yes.
Trustee Belcher.
So, I'm gonna say this. I have been working with the police department since, Deputy Chief Lacy has left. Out of 14 to 21 days, the morale is going up. And that's good for our community when you're not working in a hostile environment and being made to do things that you know that you shouldn't do. Because these officers, when they leave out, they want to come home. And to have someone over you and giving you orders that you know are
Just to make sure I'm clear about this, they didn't say they did say something. They actually held a no confidence vote and said that they had no confidence in Lacy. So they did do something.
Unethical or not right is an issue. So when we had the original meeting, was August 5th, it was pending investigation because there was a lot of things going on. And then he was officially terminated. But there was a whole lot of controversy. I'm sure everybody's seen on the news. She came back, she said he's still in charge or whatever. But during the course of that time, our police officers were still working. And they were working based on the fact that they have realized that the trustees are in a position to help them. So they had did a no confidence letter because they were really kind of scared, like, oh my God, although the trustees are saying that he's fired, the mayor has the ability to put him back in place. And I want to read the letter because although this is our official termination for him, I want you to know what how the police department does. We, the members of the Dolton Police Department, are generating a correspondence to our union, the village administration, board of trustees, and citizens of the village of Dolton as a formal declaration expressing our displeasure with the leadership of the former Deputy Chief of Police, Louis Lacy.
Here it is. You hear?
This letter serves as an official notice of intent to present a unified vote of no confidence in the former Deputy Chief Lacy for past, present, and any future leadership for Louis Lacy. The village and the residents do not deserve the example of unprofessionalism in the service of our community, and the members of the department apologize for the impact stemming from the fractures in the department leadership. The Dolton Police Department command staff and its officers have come together in efforts to show solidarity in the face of ongoing internal turmoil, and we humbly ask for your support and grace as we make active attempts to implement much needed internal changes so that we may serve this community with integrity and professionalism as it deserves. A vote was conducted in early August, and an overwhelming majority of 95% voted that they had no confidence in Deputy Chief Louis Lacy.
There it is.
That is from the department, Dolton Police Department. So as you guys see, we are making strides to turn this thing around. And as long as we can continue to effectively work with the departments and work with the village administrator, we just gonna push somebody else on out the way until we continue doing what we need to do. So I just wanted to read this and have this on record before we took the vote.
Thank you very much, Trustee Belcher. Any other comments? Hearing none, Deputy Clerk, please call the roll.
Trustee Morgan. Trustee Stanley Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown.
If Stan Brown voted to do it.
Trustee Belcher. Aye. Motion passed.
Chief Lacy is officially fired.
Next on the agenda is a motion to approve 2024-2025 business licenses. Is there a motion?
Motion, second.
Hearing a motion and a second, any discussion? I will discuss a little bit. It's been brought to our attention that there are 18 businesses that we've been presented with licenses that range anywhere from 2 to 6, almost 9 months delinquent on getting it with no justifiable reason for the businesses to not have the licenses. Some of these businesses include Menards, Wendy's, Domino's Pizza. So the big name businesses that we want to make sure that we get ourselves back in good standing and good graces so that they can continue.
Why the hell you holding up McDonald's and Wendy's business license?
Additional comments?
You have to recognize.
Absolutely, Trustee Belcher.
And this goes back to even just day-to-day operations. We have businesses, we don't want to lose businesses. I'm sure if you guys noticed that Peppi's is gone.
Yo, so they were holding up McDonald's, Wendy's, why are you holding up all those business licenses? She's trying to destroy the town. So like Henyard just trying to destroy the town. All the cops that didn't get the 13K OT they voted. Yeah, but 95% of the police department said they had no confidence. So the police department's turned against Henyard, except for the ones obviously making all that money. So
And Peppi's is gone because they were not able to get their license renewed. And those kind of issues not only hurt us in reference to taxes that come in and businesses that come in, but it also hurt because that's revenue that we get from the license that they apply for. And if you have no justification that you just doing what you want to do and not taking care of business of the community, we have to put a stop to it. So I'm grateful that we are able to possibly move this forward for them to get their licenses so they can continue to bring money back into the community.
Trustee Stanley, I'd like to piggyback on that. I did have an opportunity to get back and do it yesterday. I definitely cried when I saw that Menards over there when I called and checked on their Menards and Wendy's. Come on, that's a nice spot. But with that being said, with all those 18 individuals, business, as long as their paperwork is right and correct from the state and coming into the village, let's get all 18 over. We definitely can use it, but we just have to make sure that paperwork is right and correct. So I know what's done here, we got our arms open for these business, so they right, let's go for it.
Thank you very much, Trustee Stanley. And I will just say to any business out there, these are the businesses that we're aware of. Any businesses that are suffering through these hard times, please feel free to reach out to myself or any other board member up here so that we can get the process going. Having said that, any additional comments?
I have a list of the businesses, give it to the deputy clerk, and anyone in the audience wants to see, if you'd be interested, doesn't know what businesses have applied for licenses. Many of them have been established businesses in the village for many years, and for unknown reasons, their licenses have been held up. So I think the residents deserve to know what businesses, and then they can patronize those businesses and all those.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
now I do want to, before this vote goes down, I do want to show this because I always think it's hilarious. This is the Tiffany Henyard Good Burger Shark Takes.
Hi, Shark. I'm Tiffany Henyard from Chicago, Illinois. I'm currently the owner of
This probably why she was denying them
located at 634
the burger
Burger
joint.
in Calumet City, Illinois. Our phone number is 708-801-9980. And for those trying to find us, you can track our food truck or follow us on Twitter. Just go to our website,
Watch you pop up.
lovegoodburger.com. Again, that is loveagoodburger.com.
Now, you know that's not fair, sneaking up on a man when he's eating a Tiffany juicy burger. Seeing that you're here, let me just fill you in.
So you see, he was close. But I'm thinking But like people are saying in the chat, that's probably why she not letting these people get their burger licenses, because she wants to have her burger joint be the only one. But that's Stan Brown in there. That is Stan Brown. Yes, the guy who's
When a
down
man
there.
get to hold a burger
Flip
like this in his hand,
Flipping.
this is like heaven.
A few moments later.
Congratulations, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Tiffany Henyard was sworn in as Dolton's first female mayor. At 37, she's also Dolton's youngest.
Hoping we could get somebody that was a little bit younger for the role. Say.
Well, we're moving on now to the side, to the deluxe apartments in the sky.
Me and Mayor's working.
Moving on to the side. We finally got.
Let's get back to the meeting. But so so now you got all these burger joints who can't get business licenses. You got all this stuff going on, and Stan Brown is there. The guy who you saw eating a Tiffany burger, he's still there. So now they're going to vote to just give all these burger joints their business licenses so they can operate.
Hearing no additional comments at this time, I'll accept the clerk for roll call.
Trustee Norwood. Aye. Trustee Stanley Brown.
All right, so the stuff you're hearing in the background are people screaming about Keith Freeman, that they still want to hire Keith Freeman. You'll listen to it as they vote.
Yes.
Trustee Norwood. Aye. Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House.
Aye.
Trustee Dolton. Aye. Motion passed.
Next on the agenda, approval and transfer from the MLT funds to general fund. Is there a motion on this one? Okay.
Second.
Hearing a motion and second, any discussion? Trustee Norwood.
Trustee Norwood, talking
I know for the last few years, you've all heard us talk, explain that we're in a deficit. These parties are draining us. And now we've come to the point where we're forced to make these decisions, the tough decisions. And it's all because of our
read that indictment.
Administration and the field leadership. So I just want you all to know that we have to make this decision. We're going to make this decision for the people, but ultimately, we're going to continue to do what's best for you all. Thank you.
Okay, any additional comments? Okay, hearing none, the clerk please call the roll.
Sorry, who first and second?
First was, I believe, Trustee Lieutenant Brown, and second, Trustee Norwood.
Trustee Norwood.
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown.
Aye.
Trustee Tammy Brown. Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House.
Aye.
Trustee Bosher. Aye. Motion passed.
So we're gonna come cycle back to item number K. I think Trustee Bosher will introduce item K.
Yes. So item K is discussion of collective bargaining agreement between IAFF Local 3766 and the Village of Dolton. I'm sure everyone has known that.
The woman who's putting up a sign.
For the last 5 years, the fire department came and stated that they have been working diligently without a contract. I am happy to say that not only were we able to negotiate a successful contract, but we got them to 2027. And what I'm so happy about is it's working together. It's making sure that
this is not about anyone's personal agenda. This is about making sure that we're doing what's right for the community and making the firefighters whole. So, the president wanted to speak, but I don't know, would there be on discussion? Are you okay with having speaking?
I think there really should be a motion in second.
Right, that's what, okay, before we go to discussion. All right, so I want to make a motion that we approve the bargaining agreement between IAFF Local 3766 and the Village of Dolton.
Second.
All right.
Here, a motion in a second, we're in discussion.
Okay, so we're in discussion. Could the firefighters come up?
Go ahead. They approving a new contract for the firefighters.
Guys, my name is Henyard, I'm president of Dolton Firefighters Local 3766. First and foremost, I want to thank the residents for the support through all of this. It's great when we hear you guys clap like that, it truly does mean something. When we drive down the streets and we have people waving to us, we know we're here to protect you guys, and it goes a long way. Secondly, I would really like to thank the trustees for working with us and having integrity across the way with this. Mike McGrath is their attorney, stand-up guy. He was very professional. He showed up on time. He showed up with all of his documents needed. And we sat there like gentlemen and discussed what we needed to discuss and got everything done in 2 meetings. We had about 20 meetings with the previous administration. We met with them 2 times and we got everything accomplished. I'd also like to thank Tiffany Belcher. She is the chair of the fire department. She has been great. We send her one email, we get a response right away, and everything going on with her 457 and the insurance, she's on it. So I definitely like to thank her for that as well. And lastly, we do have an open door policy with our trustees. They come into the firehouse all the time. Brady's sometimes there for 3 hours. They drink 4 or 5 pots of coffee and everyone's screaming. But it's a real relationship. We're here to serve them as well and you guys. So this is a great team and we appreciate everything from you guys.
Right, the firefighters, take care of the firefighters.
Trustee Moore,
See, that ain't not wrong. And Trustee Belcher, they keep judging me for going over there and drinking coffee. And I'm telling them that this is team building. They're not listening, okay? For anyone who, most of you may know that a few years ago, I was in Fountain Crest Condo Association, and we had a fire. And when we had a fire, it was then that I realized how important the services are. When we talk about providing the residents with services, we're talking about sometimes life and death. When I opened my front door, all I seen was smoke. I panicked, I was screaming, I was about to throw my son out the window. I'm scared of heights, he's scared of heights. So it was a life-changing moment, but it was satisfying to have the firefighters there right before I was about to jump so they brought the ladder up the stairs, so I didn't have to jump. So I thank them, I understand that their services are very important, and again, I'll be back for coffee tomorrow, just so you know.
I do simply want to thank the firefighters for going through 5+ years without a contract and showing up and showing out every day for the community. So thank you so much.
Yeah, let us show that without a contract.
Any additional comments?
I would just like to say, see what happened when you work together?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So if not, Deputy Clerk, I'll ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Norwood? Aye. Trustee Stanley Brown?
Aye.
Trustee Stanley Brown? Aye. Mayor Pro Tem House?
Aye.
Trustee Belcher?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Okay. Next, we have to go into executive session for items E, F, G, H, L, and J.
So I'll ask if we get a motion to go for personnel matters and legal matters. So
Litigation personnel.
okay, litigation personnel. So is there a motion to go into executive session? Here, a motion and second, we will stand adjourned until executive session concludes.
So they're going to an executive session to talk about Keith Freeman, all the executive personnel and all that. So that seems like we're doing now. But they got a lot done today. So first thing that I remember, Keith Freeman, he's going to be brought, he's going to officially, even though he's still working there, he's still going to be brought back as village administrator. And now we know that he is, Nate, can you zoom into her face? No, I can't zoom. This is the most I can zoom in on this thing, which is crazy. That's the best. So, so Keith Freeman, who is under federal indictment for bankruptcy fraud, he's still running the day-to-day in Dolton. So he hasn't been fired, and he's a whistleblower protection. That's something new that we did. And we kind of understood it, and I'm assuming he's working with the feds. Second thing is their accountant. Now, they still saying the accountant is giving them problems getting their stuff. Now, that lets me think one or two things. Why, if you're my accountant, and I'm asking you for my bank records, give me my bank records, give me my stuff, and you don't want to give it to me, makes me think something's up with the accountant. Makes me think that the accountant, there's some issue with the accountant. Like, why won't you give me my bank stuff? So they, and they're paying $40,000 a month. So yeah, I need the accountant to I need my stuff from the accountant. The accountant's got to tell me what's going on. Third, they fired obviously the police chief Lacey. He's gone. He's a goner now. They fired him, and they put restrictions on. So they are saying Henyard can't spend on these events anymore. She can't spend to go on any of these trips. Everything now has to be approved by the board, and they're going to do a proper budget. So that's what we learned today. And the people who they hired, Tiffany hired last meeting, obviously aren't employees because they have to be approved by the board, and the board obviously is not approving them. Now, one thing I do want to say is that Trustee Stan Brown, who you see here in this, let me see if we see a bit of picture of Stan Brown. Trustee Stan Brown. Stan Brown is the person who is a Tiffany Henyard. As you saw him in the burger video, he's a Tiffany Henyard sycophant. Him actually being here. I'm just going to keep it real. I think he's here because he's concerned that. Let me put him on the screen. That's the guy right here in this blue shirt and the blue suit with the blue shirt and blue tie. I think he knows what's going on. I think he knows what's going on. I think he's scared to death, and he needs to be on the good side of history. Nate, is the lady next to her wearing white? The lady who she fired. That's the deputy clerk. So the deputy clerk is the one next to Jason House, who's here, who's the other guy on the panel. Well, she's actually the person you're talking about is next to the white guy on the far end. She's the deputy clerk. That Tiffany Henyard didn't like her, so she fired her. But Tiffany Henyard doesn't have authority to fire the deputy clerk. The clerk is the only person that has the authority to do that. So they brought her back on, and now she's the deputy clerk is the one that's holding the meetings. Before, the clerk had to be at every meeting because she couldn't hire a deputy. Now she has a deputy clerk. So the deputy clerk is now doing that role. So he's eating at Tiffany Good Burger tonight. Yeah, maybe. So now, obviously, the biggest controversy now is the fact of the party. So for those of you who don't know, they're doing the same exact thing at Thornton Township as they're doing here. So at Thornton Township, essentially all of the same stuff you're seeing here past at Dolton is the same stuff you probably saw past that Thornton Township meeting, where you can't spend money on these events. You can't just go on trips anymore. We need to see receipts for all the credit card stuff because, everything's a black box. Tiffany's just been spending and they don't know what's going on. So essentially both boards are doing the same thing. Nate the lawyer, if you want a good example of what the feds will eventually do, could be cute to look at the Kwame Kilpatrick. Oh yeah, Kwame Kilpatrick of Detroit. Yeah. He's definitely. That's a good thing. But I think the thing that frustrates me, and I'm going to ask you guys too, the thing that frustrates me about the Dolton stuff is the fact that Henyard, most of the stuff, like the money that's going to the charity. That's obviously messed up, right? That's obviously corrupt. Why they could have got it? Why haven't they gotten her on that? The church, she said, "Oh, I'm giving this money to my charity," and then now when it comes out, the charity's essentially just a fraud. It's like, "Oh, well, I had nothing to do with the charity." It's like, really? Can you just say that even though we have you on camera saying it's your charity, telling people to get like, really? Is that it? So I don't know. Stan Brown is scared. Well, Stan Brown's got a lot of history. You saw her in him in the burger video. So again, and they have the invoices. Don't forget, her family's getting paid. Her boyfriend's getting paid. Right? All of her friends are getting paid. Matter of fact, those are the people she's taking on these trips to Las Vegas. Stan Brown was in Las Vegas. Stan Brown was in Las Vegas. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot here going on that I think people are. There's a lot of people who are probably going to be going to jail in Dolton. Number one, the police chief, he's going to jail for sure. He's got 9 charges that they got him dead to rights for. Keith Freeman, obviously they're pushing on him. And if they both flip it on, if they both flip on Henyard, then she's probably going to go down too. So again, I don't know what's taking so long to get Henyard. I thought they would have had her easy. But to be fair, when you're investigating and you want to move up the chain like in the mob or whatever, you start with the low level people. You get them locked up, and then you move up the chain. So that might be what they're doing now. Yeah, you guys got to see, because it's actually been breaking all over Twitter. I'm gonna show you this before we get out of here, because they're gonna go to executive session and do all this and come back. But the Tiffany Henyard thing is going crazy because now it's funny because most people now all of a sudden have found Henyard. But this party that she threw was like insane. It's like insane stuff. Like at a point, I don't think she realizes that she thinks she can buy her way back into being in Thornton Township and everything. I think she thinks she could just buy her way back. And I don't think she realizes that there's records for all these things. You can fool people sometimes, but you can't fool them all the time. And it also shows you too how hard it is for you to get someone out like this. Like how hard is it to get somebody who's essentially obviously corrupt out of office? It's just how tough is this? Which one do I want to show you? All right, here it is. This is the latest one. This is probably going to be copyright struck like crazy, but I'm going to play it anyway. Check this one. Check this out.
Investigates a party with a purpose. South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard threw a bash this weekend. She's trying to silence her critics amidst an ongoing federal investigation into her spending and leadership.
And it is as investigative reporter Ben Bradley found, like many of Henyard's events, taxpayers are left footing some of the bill.
Hey guys, hey! It's your super mayor, Tiffany Henyard, the people's mayor.
The super mayor took to social media to promote her party. There was a bounce house, skating, and a food giveaway.
But I spend my own money to make sure that I put on for my citizens. I always put my money where my mouth is.
Henyard said she paid after trust.
Now you see, Henyard said she spent her own money, so she's telling people, "This is my money." I'm now. It's so great because she's telling people she's spending her own money while spending their money. Just imagine that, right? Somebody takes your money and then spends it and tells you it's their money. It's crazy.
Trustees refused. They're trying to control her spending and were skittish because the event was advertised as the Friends of Tiffany Henyard Picnic. That's also the name of her campaign fund. Her lawyer denies it was a political event, but it's clear the bash was meant to bolster Henyard's image as she faces a federal investigation into her spending in Dolton, where she's the mayor, and Thornton Township, where she's the supervisor.
And for those that don't know, let me make sure I'm crystal clear about this. I ain't never took a damn thing in my life. So I want to make sure y'all hear it out of my mouth.
Let's start with the party's location. It was held at a skating rink Henyard commissioned in Dolton with an initial estimated cost of $269,000.
She just taking all their money.
WGN Investigates had to sue Dolton to get Henyard's administration to release credit card records, and we noticed a $17,000 charge to a roller skate wholesaler.
I'm thinking that's for the roller skates that the residents.
So they spent $300,000 on the spot, and then she puts another $20,000 on credit cards. And they all got to know this is all messed up. They got to know all this is all messed up. They got Stan Brown here talking too about the roller rink. Here we go.
Homes resurfaced. The Henyard ally is under investigation after a village employee accused him of sexual assault on a taxpayer-funded trip to Las Vegas. He denies wrongdoing and defends Henyard's leadership.
Here it is.
If it's anything that was criminally done, it would be out there. So children are having fun, the families are having fun, and things are getting done.
This was in the box. We got greens. We got greens, beans, potatoes, you name it. Look at that.
Henyard frequently promotes the township's food pantry, but she's been accused of distributing the boxes with campaign messages. The Greater Chicago Food Depository performed a spot check Tuesday and reminded the township its food can't be used to promote a politician.
So she got her name all on the boxes and everything. Tiffany Henyard. They're like, what are you doing?
Listen, the biggest point. You got people like myself that care about community that people try to stop. People will always try to stop things they cannot control. That's what it's all about. Someone young, vibrant, energetic like myself, who cannot and will not be bought, is the one that's constantly moving forward.
Henyard has frequently been accused of mixing political and public money. Those newly obtained spending records show Dolton taxpayers footed the bill for more than $8,000 worth of hotel rooms during an event for Henyard's namesake cancer charity last year. The charity has now been shut down by the Illinois Attorney General.
And remember, she said she had nothing to do with that charity, but yeah, she's spending people's. She spent like what, $20,000 or $30,000 on that charity.
God wanted me to lead the people.
God wanted her to lead the people, baby.
God knew that I wouldn't take no mess. He knew that I would stand strong in the fire for you.
Yo, those lashes are serious. Look, they ain't even holding back her hair. She got some serious lashes on that thing. Paid for by the taxpayers, by the way.
The dysfunction in Dolton grows as trustees.
Yeah. Dolton, it's crazy because it's like I kind of got two minds about it. I feel so sorry for the people of Dolton, right? Shout out to the people in Dolton fighting this stuff because but then on one side it's kind of like how like a lot of this is self-inflicted wounds, right? This is all self-inflicted. It just is. It's these people did this to themselves. How do you I don't think there's any shocker that Tiffany Henyard is a clown. Right? I don't think there's any shocker, but it just but they wanted to get to give her all this money. And here is the cost for that party that you saw. Here's the cost. I'm going to play this for you guys real quick too, because I think this is hilarious too. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm convinced either the feds have what they need, but keep finding new stuff. It's possible, but I don't know. They're working their way up. All right, so here we go. Users to subvert. Let me go back. Let me go up to this party. Here we go. So here's the latest news report before we get out of here. Check this out because this is insane.
Is meeting in the south suburbs tonight as Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard tried to conduct business as usual. WGN's Jenna Barnes has details.
Hello, Jenna.
Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard is finding a way to spend money that trustees say they intentionally did not approve. One describing it to me tonight as a shell game.
Is there a motion to approve the Gospel Fest?
Motion failed.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the House Fest?
Event after event.
So for you guys who saw the Thornton Township meeting, you see they disapproved everything, right? All those events. They're like, you spending too much money. Hold up.
And denied for Thornton Township Supervisor Tiffany Henyard under an ordinance designed to rein in spending.
The residents love the events that we do here at Thornton Township.
Of course they love the
And prior
events.
to me, y'all have always had events. So I don't understand why it's a problem now that Tiffany Henyard is the supervisor.
Trustees say they won't greenlight the events because there's no approved budget yet.
Can't continue to spend money without that in place.
The most recent cost causing concern, Henyard's Taste of Thornton Township last month. WGN Investigates obtained records that show singer Kiki Wyatt was paid $30,000 to sing for 30 minutes.
Now think about that, people. $1 million deficits, people needing all types of stuff, and she's taking taxpayer money and paying Kiki Wyatt $30,000 for a half-hour set. I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong business. He's taking taxpayer money and paying Kiki Wyatt $30,000 for a half-hour set, saying it's coming out of her pocket.
Rapper Jay Holiday made $20,000 for a half-hour set. When you factor in staff, equipment, and other.
So let's just do the math real quick. Just on the entertainment alone, for a half hour, they paid $50,000. Half hour for her, half hour. So an hour's worth of entertainment, $50,000 for an hour. If they sung at the same time, it'd be $50,000 for the half hour. But I'm assuming they sung at 2 different times. That's crazy. It didn't come from her OnlyFans, huh? It's crazy. It's insane. And like 70 people showed up. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And then you have a $35,000 other course. This is one event.
Other expenses, the total cost is at least $85,000, which is lower than WGN Investigates initially reported, but still raising questions.
Extraordinary amount of money was spent unnecessarily.
Trustees voting not to approve thousands of dollars in expenditures for Taste of Thornton and other Henyard events, money that's already been spent.
Yeah, this is a good point. Like something like 60 or 70 people came out, right? So literally it was like $1,200 per person, per guest. $1,200 per person, per guest. Insane old stuff. It's insane old stuff.
And
A lot of that spending was done on credit cards. We just don't agree with so much being put on credit cards. And then also recently it looks like even stuff that we voted not to pay then was put onto credit cards. So it's just kind of almost like a shell game, unfortunately.
But they don't have unanimous support from residents.
Since there isn't a budget passed, that maybe they should do the same for their salary, suspend the salary until they pass a budget.
That budget could be coming soon. Trustees say it's under review by an accountant now. They also voted once again to put Henyard's name on a credit card, despite her protest, they say, for accountability. In South Holland, Jenna Barnes, WGN.
So that's what's going on now. And you know, I think at the end of the day, somebody's got to take some, I think Henyard's got a lot of responsibility, but like the states, like how could she do this? She's literally just taking their money and doing whatever. Even when they say you can't spend it like this, she's still taking their money and spending it like it. So what can you do? I'm assuming the FBI has put, if she's literally giving, just imagine your mayor, wherever you live, your mayor just wakes up and want to say, I'm going to give $100,000 to Jay-Z to do a half-hour set. I would think there would be some repercussions for that. Or if you were at your job and had that type of expenditure, I think people would be like, what? She can just do this. This doesn't make any sense. So, I think at the end of the day, this saga now, I have heard that things are happening on the criminal investigation side of this. So things are moving, but there's been no time frame put forward, but things supposedly are moving on that. So we should have something a little more definitive soon. Questions coming in the chat. Nate, even with the threat of the FBI, she is doing this. She's being protected. I don't know if she's being protected. I think sometimes you could be so dumb that you could do things so wild that people either are shocked and then have to try to draw back to like, how do we get to the point where it became like this? Because I'm assuming from the subpoenas, don't forget, you're subpoenaing both Dolton and Thornton Township. And you're talking about her family members on the payroll. You're talking about her boyfriends on the payroll. You're talking about all this crazy stuff on the payroll. And let's talk about the police overtime that's obviously suspect. The trips that are obviously suspect. The giving all this money to her charity, obviously suspect. The Tahoes that she signed for alone without the clerk's signature behind the trustee's back, that's on the table. So there's a lot of stuff on the table. There's a lot of stuff on the table. And Big Bingo too. Big Bingo, where she's giving away 75-inch TVs. Yeah, that's Big Bingo. But it's crazy because the people who want those events don't realize that it's there. That she's just giving you back your money. She's literally just giving you back your money. So, but I would like Big Bingo, but I wouldn't want to pay for it. If somebody else is paying for it, that's fine. And that's what Tiffany's doing. She's like, hey, I'll give you Big Bingo, but you're going to pay for it. It's a show. It's like it is a shell game. It's a shell game, and I think it's. But one thing it shows you is that Illinois has horrible law enforcement because they should be all over this. This is a paper game. This is how could you not be all over this? So I don't know. It's not giving me a lot of confidence in the Cook County because they're in Cook County, which is Chicago. So they're the Cook County prosecutor's office. That's where Justice Smollett happened. I think they got to be corrupt if they don't see this. And the state controller is saying it's all messed up there. The attorney general is saying it's all messed up there. The governor gave a press conference. Yeah, it's all messed up there. I'm glad people are looking into it. But none of those people from the state level are looking into it. Think about that. The top executive people in the state of Illinois have all of them have said it's all messed up. Money is all funny in Dolton. All of them. And the state is not looking into it. They said, we're going to let the feds take care of it. Like, really? That's what I'm saying. It's none of this makes sense in the real world. I just don't know. Nate, there's an agenda going on. Prince Harry is on an A1 visa, and we the taxpayers are paid $1 million for security, and he's not even a working member of the royal family. Yeah, that's also crazy. That's also crazy. I don't know. Oof, that is also crazy. But think about it, people. Think about it. The matter of fact, the AG just literally sit down. She's violating the law with these meetings. She's breaking the law. Mandatory this is a binding opinion. You got to do this. And the money's funny. And everybody knows it. So it's like I think the protection for her is the fact she's doing it so blatantly and openly that I don't know if people are just shocked, like, oh, I can't believe it's actually happening. And it's like watching the train wreck and you can't turn away. So it's kind of frozen you. I don't know. What could be holding things up? Because it's not like people don't know. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. I feel like put up the clip of the governor. Let me see if I can find the governor, Illinois governor on Tiffany Henyard. Yeah, here you go. I found the clip. Let's watch this. Let's watch it.
Governor, you monitoring what's going on in Dolton and Thornton Township and the leadership there. Are you concerned? Taxpayers seem very worried. There's chaos at meetings. What can be done? Could you play a role in stepping in some way? What's your take on this?
That's the governor.
I've looked at that question, whether the state should and can play a role.
It's obvious corruption. Yes, we're gonna play a role. We got people going down there tomorrow, next week. We can afford it to find out what's going on because it's crazy down there. That's what he should be saying, right? Those should be his next words. We got people on it, right? Don't worry about it. We on it. But let's see what he says. Let's see. Obviously, he's not going to say that. Let's see what he says.
The federal authorities, as you may know, are involved and investigating. I've read that. I think that's a public.
He read that somewhere. He read that. He's like us. He read the newspaper like us.
Piece of information. There is an investigation that's been called for, and now I know there was a veto that was overridden that will now allow that.
So he's watching it like us. He knows the details. If veto's override, he knows what's going on.
Investigation to go forward with former Mayor Lori Lightfoot in charge of that. I think that those are two pretty good authorities for looking into this, investigating it, and getting to the truth.
And
former Mayor Lori Lightfoot? Are you freaking serious? She ain't got no badge. She ain't got no pull. You get the state police, the investigative unit, you guys go down there and check this thing out. This is what you guys supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be investigating corruption? Well, guess what? We got a whole bunch of corruption right here. Check it out. Let's make it happen.
We'll support them. Well, we looked at whether we ought to put resources, whether it's state police and their anti-corruption efforts, or asking the attorney general. The reality is that there are already two pretty significant investigations going on.
The state police, but again, the federal government's looking at violations of federal law. They could easily go and look at violations of state law, right? There's Illinois state statutes that she's violating right now. You know how we know? Because the comptroller said it. She said she's violating the law. The cops told we're not giving them money because they're violating the law. Oh, well, you see, somebody else happens to be looking. Lori Lightfoot, former Mayor Lori Lightfoot, she's looking into it. I trust her. What? I wish the cops would do that with a I commit a crime. I wish, it's some independent third parties looking into it. We ain't going to check it out. We're going to just let it go. What the hell? Are you serious? He's talking about Lori Lightfoot. He's going to check it out. She's got the cops. You got the cops. What the fuck are you talking about, Lori Lightfoot? Woo! No. Let's get the police. Let's get the police to go down there. Right? Lori Lightfoot is all right, but I'm not too good. I'm not trusting Lori Lightfoot. I think they will wait until after the election. She's corrupted, by the way. Bad press. Maybe. I think it would be good press for him to go out there and get her out of there. But what the hell, bro? He knows. This guy's telling me, I know she's everything. They're saying he sees it all. He sees it all. But he's not going to do that. He's going to let former Mayor Lori Lightfoot pay. Matter of fact, he's going to let the Dolton Lori Lightfoot, who has no subpoena power, who can't arrest anybody, who has no power to do any of that stuff. He's going to let her take care of it. Think about this. If the state government, when I was in law enforcement, we go to the accountants, we give them a subpoena. They got to give us our stuff in 30 days, or they got hell to pay. They're giving it to us. We get everything. I want everything. They give it to us. They have no, or we going in there and get it. But they either one way. You going to give it to us, or we're going to go get it. But we want everything. And you're licensed by the state, so your license is all involved in all that stuff. So when you subpoena, the accountants give you everything, so they can have everything tomorrow if they wanted to, right? It's the state. They can have it all tomorrow. They don't got nothing. So again, this whole thing that we're just going to let it go to the feds and the Lori Lightfoot. There are state laws. They don't care. Even though they are the ones saying it's crazy that when the comptroller said they're violating the law, but what can we do? What?
And so we'll support them in every way that we can. But it's really just a matter of, do you want everybody running over each other in those investigations, or do you want, two concerted efforts toward getting the facts?
This is the thing. Do we want people running over each other? No. We want people cooperating, working together for the common goal, right? For instance, you had the mob here in New York. The local police and the feds work together and get the mob. They don't say, oh, you're working on it, we're just going to hang out, or say they both work together and you get the mob, right? You both work together and you figure things out, right? Oh, you're going to investigate the federal crimes. We're going to investigate the state crimes, but we'll do it together, right? If I got the subpoena for the records and I got them all, I'll just hand them over to the state and you guys do your thing, right? Because the laws are different. The federal laws are different than the state laws. This is all just, again, I don't know. Maybe she's got something on this guy. I don't know. But this makes no freaking sense. It just doesn't. If it makes sense to you people in the chat, let me know, because it makes absolutely no sense to me why they don't have state officials. They could be in there right now tearing this thing out. But it seems like they don't want to do it. I just don't know. So for those of you who didn't know, the governor he's informed. He knows for a fact what's going on. He knows for a fact what's going on. Well, I'm checking back Dolton again to see what's going on. Yeah, that guy, he knows for a fact what's going on. They're still in executive session. So again, I don't know why it's taking so long. I'm frustrated like everybody else, because it's just like, this absolutely makes no sense. And at a point, I'm thinking I'm the only one. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know who thinks this is wrong. Ain't nobody jumping over a man. I'm jumping another man over a sandwich, though. Yes, 2 weeks before you called it, Edney the lawyer. Ain't nobody jumping another man over a sandwich. That's true. 2 weeks before. I did call it, but I'm saying because they're all Democrats. Yeah, all the people who they doing is Democrats. Rico cases take time. How much time and what else do you need? You got the comptroller saying all this stuff is illegal. We haven't had any financials, all this stuff. You got the bank accounts. All the bank accounts have been raided. There's no more money. You got everything here. How much? What else do you need? And everybody's under federal indictment. It's like You can get on. There's so many things you can get on now, just right now. And it's not like they don't know. They know. They're saying they know. They're saying they know. I'm not making it up. He said, I know. I see what's going on. We're not going to do anything. We're going to let the feds do anything. Well, then what the hell is he there for? If I was running the AG for Illinois, I'd use, this is a campaign issue. If you are running against the current AG, I'd ask why the incumbent isn't investigating. If I were the current AG, I'm going after her showing I'm tough on crime. Yeah. Well, something like this, which is I think so obvious to everybody. It's like, it's right there. It's right there. You know who I'll be voting for, Trump, ? That cop who protected the super mayor, Henyard, who was making 250, over a 2-week period. Well, no, 300 hours in a 2-week period. You're short a couple of hours. It's crazy. Matter of fact, you know what? Since we're here, before we get out of here, let's the comptroller. The comptroller. Watch what the comptroller say, because the comptroller is gonna make it very clear. The comptroller of the state. Now, mind you, the governor already said, I know it's issues dirty, blah, blah, blah. We heard about the attorney general, issues dirty, right? We heard about all that. Now we're going to hear about the comptroller. This is a state comptroller. She's going to talk about Dolton.
Financial officer makes it clear to Dolton officials.
Until I see those reports properly filed the way the law says they have to be, and until we see them show accountability for how they're spending taxpayer money, they will not see another penny of those offsets.
Illinois Comptroller Susana Mendoza says she is freezing $135,000 that would have been sent to the village of Dolton after a preliminary report of the village finances by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot revealed questionable expenses under Mayor Tiffany Henyard, and a village that had a multi-million-dollar surplus 2 years ago is now running millions of dollars in debt.
Now, before we even start this, think about what you just heard. Multi-million-dollar budget, right? Multi-million-dollar surplus. Now they've been rated. And she didn't act. This woman didn't act. Not because she didn't know. I'll tell you how she knew. Because every year, adults are supposed to be filing audited financial statements. They didn't follow for the past 2 years. So they knew something was up. They didn't ask. And the only time they stepped in to do anything, is when Lori Lightfoot said, hey, look, he did her PowerPoint presentation. And all of a sudden, now she's got what? This shows you how either ineffective government is, because we knew about all this a year ago. She just kind of found out, what is this, a couple of weeks ago? Which doesn't make sense. Juicy Smollett. Yes, true. Now, but listen to what she says.
Action yesterday is to protect the people of Dolton who she is disrespecting with her behavior every day.
Mendoza says her office is poised to do a forced audit and levy fines if the village of Dolton does not file past due audits. Village trustees now demanding the village finance department comply.
It's so sad. It's sad because the people who are being hurt are the poor people of Dolton.
An attorney representing Mayor Henyard shared this statement.
Now watch who Henyard blames. For the controller said she's obviously violating the law.
Saying in part, she has never refused to comply with the comptroller. She is simply trying to compel the accountant to comply. Meanwhile, yesterday,
that accountant, I see why the accountant Henyard's throwing the accountant under the bus too. Everybody's with the trustees. We can't get the accountants. Henyard saying the accountant is the problem, and the accountant's like, yo, I'm not giving any. I'm done with this. Nothing ordered for me. You got to find something out. You forgot, it is ranked number 1 for corruption. But listen, people. I'm perplexed. That now when it's taking so long, but this just seems so obvious. It's like if it's not obvious, and they got crazier stuff even happening in the background. This is just it just is what it is. Well, with that said, let me check back to see if they're out of executive session, because if they're not, I'm still out of here. All right, so they're still in executive session talking about that, but we know what's going to happen. They're going to hire Keith Freeman and fire the other guy, and that's essentially going to be executive session. So we're good to go. So with that being said, let me know, like, after I end this video, let me know in the comments if you choose, because I try to read all the comments, but let me know what you guys think is taking so long, because it's really at that point. The governor knows there's illegal stuff going on here. The state attorney general knows there's illegal stuff going on here. The comptroller knows there's illegal stuff going on inside here, and no one has done anything. And matter of fact, not only do they know, they say, we're not going to do it. We're going to let Lori Lightfoot take it. We're gonna trust Lori Lightfoot to take it. In what world is that even reasonable to say for the governor to say? Oh yeah, don't worry, Lori Lightfoot's got it. Like, who the hell is Lori Lightfoot? Oh, she's a former mayor of Chicago. Like, but aren't you the governor? Isn't there like a police force that you guys have to go investigate stuff like this? No. We're gonna let Lori Lightfoot do it. She got no power, she got no subpoena, but she got nothing, but we're gonna let her take care of it. Like, what? Are you serious? 150,000 people are being harmed by this woman. And he's saying we don't want to get involved. Even though they all know. I honestly think this is the reason why going to the polls and voting matters. And it matters who's there, because you need people there who give a damn about the people and make these things happen, who care, who's not going to say it's somebody else's problem. That's essentially what the governor's saying. It's somebody else's problem. You're the governor of the state, and you got the nerve to say it's somebody else's problem? No, it's your problem. And thank God the FBI is there to help make. But again, now what's going on with the FBI? Who knows? So I don't know, guys. It just, and the count, everybody's getting paid 40 grand. Kiki Wise, she's getting paid 30 grand for half hours for a half hour set of taxpayer money. And these are poor people. So, but I've ranted long enough about this. Oh yeah, Baltimore's full of corruption too. Goes on everywhere. I got videos of corruption about to come out about this mayor who got called out for I think she essentially went full racist up in Michigan. So it's crazy. Dan Brown loves those good burgers, huh? But that's why he's here, right? He's not here for no good burger. He's here because he's afraid. Stan Brown is afraid. He's afraid because he knows. Think about it. He knows how bad this thing is because he was on the inside. Stan Brown knows how bad it is, and he's looked on the inside with Tiffany. And if he was okay, if he thought that she had a chance, he would still be over there singing the same tune with Tiffany. You saw him in the Good Burger thing, but he knows what's up. He knows she's going down hard, and he's trying to have a softer landing. He knows he's got some stuff he's got to still do, but he's looking for a softer landing. That's obviously why he flipped. That's the reason why Keith Freeman flipped. Keith Freeman flipped because Keith Freeman knows where all the bodies are buried. He knows the FBI hit him, and that's why. And the reason why Tiffany Henyard was trying to keep what's his name on, so the former police chief Lacey on, was because she wanted some power over him. But now she couldn't do it, and he's facing 9 charges. Of course, he's gonna flip. He's flipping like a fish out of water. He's flipping that back and forth. Probably telling with everything he wants him to know. So it's insane. But like I keep saying, people, elections matter. Elections definitely do matter. And these people who they got elected in Illinois don't care about their citizens at all, because they know if they didn't know, it would be different. If they didn't know, you could say, "Oh, the governor's so high up. How's he going to know about every little thing in Dolton or this is this?" He just told you, "I know it's all messed up. I know the FBI. I know there's illegal stuff going on there, but it's somebody else's problem." That's essentially what he said. We have people who can handle it, but we're not going to do nothing. How else do you take it? How else do you take it? Maybe there's money that the FBI can't find in their way in for her to run, so they can catch her with the money, trying to catch her red-handed. Yeah, but this is a paper case, though. It's all on paper. It's a paper case. It's, bank receipts and all that stuff. It's right there. $2 million out of the account. My account at $2 million. Now it's got $3,000 in it. It's paper. It's a paper case. But I can see them maybe wanting to just make sure it's done. But I think they gotta. How's the account in of a town of 20 to 30,000 people? 20 to 30,000 people make more than the president for that gig. Yeah, but I think they're running all the town's finances though. I don't know. 40 grand a month, you can hire like your own CPA to run it, right? You can hire your whole team, right? For that much. What's that? Almost $500,000 a year? You could hire you could create a whole accounting firm for that. But that shows you how bad they're spending money. But who knows? Well, with that, sorry about me ranting, but it's just frustrating when people obviously know when they know. And I think, with this thing, they know. The governor knows, the AG knows, the comptroller knows, they all know, and they're not doing anything. It's scary. So with that being said, don't forget, like, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching this thing with me. And the next one we're going to watch, Tiffany Henyard is going to be there. This one, she just wasn't here. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oops, let me end this stream.